Do you know what secret lies within the crown of the god of the underworld? In the deepest shadows of existence, where rivers of fire whisper the names of the dead, Hades sits upon his obsidian throne. Upon his brow rests his most powerful and mysterious possession, the black iron crown, gleaming faintly in the perpetual twilight. Mortals know it as the symbol of his dominion over death, the mark of his grim sovereignty. But few, if any, know the curse it carries. It is a secret forged in cosmic fire and quenched in eternal sorrow. A secret that, once revealed, will change everything you thought you knew about the silent king of the underworld. As we draw closer, listen. The air grows heavy, thick with the scent of forgotten memories and ancient dust. Shadows flicker from the rivers Phlegethon and Acheron, dancing across the cold stone, and faint voices echo from within the crown itself. These are not the whispers of the living, nor the lamentations of the dead. They are something older, something born from the very fabric of despair. To understand their origin, we must journey back to an age before the underworld had a king, to the violent dawn of the Olympians' reign. Long ago, when the heavens still trembled from the fall of the Titans, chaos reigned. The old gods were defeated, their divine forms shattered, but their immortal souls raged across the void, untethered, furious, and powerful enough to unravel creation itself. Countless Titan souls, remnants of a bygone era, threatened to tear the cosmos apart. The young god Hades, tasked with bringing order to the afterlife, knew that mere walls and gates would not suffice. He needed something more, something to bind the unbound. To contain this primordial chaos, Hades descended into the deepest abyss, a place even the gods feared, Tartarus, the pit beneath all existence. There, in the crushing darkness, he found it, the still beating heart of a fallen, unnamed Titan. It was a dying star of divine fury, a remnant of unimaginable power that pulsed with both life and agony. With the strength of a young god and the desperation of a king without a kingdom, Hades began to forge. He carried the Titan's heart to the banks of the river Styx, its ethereal waters hissing as he quenched the fiery remnant. With every strike of his hammer, a scream of cosmic agony echoed through the void, a sound that was not heard but felt. He was not merely shaping metal, he was bending the very essence of a god's soul, twisting its rage and sorrow into the form of a crown. With each blow, the Titan's tormented spirit bound itself to the dark iron, infusing it with a power that would forever alter Hades' destiny. When the forging was complete, the crown was born. A masterpiece of darkness, it pulsed with a faint, malevolent light. Placing it upon his head, Hades felt a surge of power unlike any other. He could command the shadows to do his bidding, silence the most rebellious souls with a mere thought, and perceive the threads of fate that bound every mortal life. The crown granted him dominion over death itself, but this power came at a terrible, unseen price. In binding the Titan's soul to the crown, he had inadvertently chained his own spirit to the underworld. From that day forward, he was no longer just a king, he was a prisoner. While his brothers, Zeus and Poseidon, ruled the bright skies and the boundless seas, free to wander the cosmos, Hades was forever bound to his gloomy realm. The crown, his greatest weapon, had become his eternal shackle. He could never again feel the warmth of the sun on his skin or breathe the fresh air of the mortal world. He was an exile in his own kingdom, his isolation a secret he guarded as closely as the souls in his care. Centuries passed, turning into millennia. The underworld settled into a quiet, somber order under its silent king. Hades' name became a synonym for coldness, for a detached and grim finality. Mortals and even gods saw him as cruel, unfeeling, a master of despair. None suspected the truth, the silent suffering he endured. None, until Persephone. When she, the vibrant goddess of spring, first entered his shadowy domain, she brought with her a light that exposed secrets long hidden in the dark. One fateful day, drawn by the crown's sorrowful hum, she reached out and placed her hand upon its cold, dark surface. In that moment, the underworld fell silent. She heard them, not the pleas of the damned, but the mourning of countless souls. And beneath it all, the ancient, weary voice of the Titan whispered a terrible truth into her mind. Every soul he guides takes a part of his own. The crown's greatest secret was not power, but sacrifice. The truth was a burden heavier than any kingdom. Every time Hades judged a soul and guided it toward its final peace, a fragment of his own divine essence, his own spirit, was consumed by the crown. It was a slow, agonizing process of self-annihilation. The crown fed on his divinity to maintain the balance, to keep the gates of the underworld sealed and the chaos of the Titan souls contained. This was the true reason for his silence, his isolation, his perceived coldness. He was not cruel. He was exhausted, worn down by the weight of millions of lives and deaths. Each century, he grew weaker, while his crown grew heavier, pulsing with the life force he had sacrificed for the sake of order. When Zeus, king of the gods, finally discovered this truth, he was stricken with a guilt that shook the foundations of Olympus. It was he who had drawn the lots, he who had consigned his brother to the darkness below, never knowing the true nature of the curse he had unknowingly inflicted. He descended into the underworld, his heart heavy, and offered his brother release. He offered to shatter the crown, to free Hades from his prison. But Hades, his form weary but his gaze resolute, refused. "If I remove the crown," he said, his voice raspy from ages of disuse, "the Titan's rage will be unleashed, the gates will shatter, the dead will rise, and the fragile peace I have bought with my own soul will be undone. All of existence will drown in chaos. None shall rest again." His duty, he had realized long ago, was more important than his own freedom, his own existence. And so the story comes to its somber, profound revelation. The god of the underworld does not merely rule the dead, he suffers for them. He is their shepherd, their guardian, and their ultimate sacrifice. His legendary crown is not a mark of authority, but a symbol of an eternal, lonely burden. It is a constant, agonizing reminder that peace for the many has a price, and it is a price paid in silence and solitude by the one who bears it. Now the throne room is quiet once more. Hades sits alone, the weight of ages pressing down upon him. He raises a hand and touches his crown just for a moment. A faint, ethereal glow escapes from the cracks in the dark metal as the whispers of the dead swirl around him. A chorus of silent gratitude he alone can hear. A single tear, black as smoke and heavy as a lifetime of sorrow, falls from his eye. He murmurs to the shadows, his voice barely a breath, "May they never know the weight I carry." For more untold mythologies and the hidden stories of the gods, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.